there's a phenomenon called conservative populism. So let me explain how this happened. It was constructed in America. In 1964, the conservative candidate was Barry Goldwater against Johnson. And Johnson won by a huge amount. And nobody wanted to be conservative. Everyone wanted to be liberal. And the poor people who were working had good union jobs. And they all wanted to be liberals. Now, between 1964 and 1967, when Richard Nixon ran for president, he was a conservative, the question was, how could he get working people who were not rich, who were poor, to vote for Nixon? And what they did was they noticed strict father morality in people. So between 64 and 67, three major things happened in America. The anti-Vietnam War movement, which was largely college students who were against the army, which was a stupid idea, right? And so working people who had been in the army saw them as communists. So Nixon said, these are communist students, they're not patriotic, and he ran on anti-communism. And he got those working people. Then they were the other thing was the women's movement. The radical feminism came in, and many working men were strict fathers at home. And so Nixon ran on traditional family values. The third thing that happened was the civil rights movement, where blacks got the right to vote, right? And so there were many working men who were racists or afraid that blacks would take their jobs. And so Nixon ran on law and order, saying these people are rioters, and against school busing, which was integration. So the result was they got people who, for one reason or another, had strict father morality, but were poor. And they united them on the issue of morality. But he also had to attack liberals. So they invented the idea of the liberal elite. That is, the liberal is very highly educated, looks down on working people, thinks you're stupid, etc.
Yeah.
And the Democrats didn't understand what happened to them. They didn't understand it and still don't. I don't know how it works in Korea, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were similar. But there's a very important thing to know. Because people are not just either conservative or liberal, they're often a little bit of both. And that means in the same brain you have two different moral systems. And your job is to activate your moral system. And the way to do that is to use your language, not their language. When Obama was running for president, he was asked, what is your definition of patriotism? And he answered, patriotism begins with citizens caring about each other. In his State of the Union address, he starts by talking about the military and how in the military it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, you care about all the other people. You always protect everybody in your unit. You always work together for a common goal. You're always a team. You never leave any of your people behind. That is, that's what patriotism is, working together and caring about each other. Brilliant. That is, he takes the military and turns it into a model of progressive moral system.